Why don't more people believe in love? Above all else, this is the question I have felt stirring deep in my heart. Why don't more people believe in love? Because if a person knew love was real, why would they choose to feel anything else? I guess I get to ask myself that very same question. The lessons of love repeat themselves, and yet I still find myself questioning all the beliefs that I've held on to for so long. The songs tell us the history of love. The movies show us the mystery of love. The art on this planet has granted us access to a collective heart we've been handed, but instead of handling it with care, we have filled it with despair, and there have been so many unanswered cries for help, it feels safer not to care. Collectively, we have turned our backs on the meek, taken advantage of the weak, and told the timid not to speak, but love can't be silenced. And so through the generations of violence, there has been a message so timeless that beats deep inside us, and with each beat reminds us that love is still here. Loud and clear, that message rings out. Love is still here. It is near to each of us, and if we look through our fear, it reaches us. So why are so many people still afraid? The way they behave can't be love, can it? I try to understand it, but damn it, it hurts to see us pillage this planet endlessly, torture animals senselessly, kill people for the color skin we see, fueling bigotry while poverty leaves children homeless on the sidewalks. We ignore them so we cannot see their hungry eyes watch us eat ourselves into obesity. And yet in it all, I see the love. We bought the thing to feel worthy of the thing we bought. We ate the food to elevate our mood and ignore the inner war being fought. We have attacked those who think differently because feeling connected meant that the pain we see in them must be the pain I feel in me. And it hurts. It hurts to want to help and not know how. It hurts to want to run and have nowhere to go. And so we have numbed ourselves through violence, ignorance, sex, drugs, alcohol, media, and whatever we could to not feel the pain. And that has been our act of self-love. It seems insane that we would try and choose to love ourselves through abuse, but simply turn on the news and notice the patterns. They are clues that if we don't know how to win, then we are born to lose. And so we can have empathy for those who feel empty, because when they act out, they are simply acting from love the best they know how. And what you and I can do right now is not allow ourselves to forget that even our worst enemies are choosing it. Everyone is choosing love the best they can with the tools they've got. And so they definitely believe in love. It might be me that forgot. Thank you. My name is Adam Roa. I am a spoken word artist and a filmmaker, and I travel the world speaking about the art of choosing love, the complex, nuanced nature of choosing love, and in the spirit of honesty and transparency and vulnerability, I want to share with you that this conference was the first time in a long time that I doubted my message. My friend asked me on one of our first days here, he said, "What are you going to speak about?" I said, "I'm going to speak about choosing love, how everyone is choosing love the best they can." And he goes, "Really?" Like, we just spent all day talking to people and hearing from people who have literally been through the worst. They have been kidnapped, they have been tortured, they have had their friends and their family members killed. And you want to tell them that everyone's choosing love? Maybe you want to tone it down a little bit. And I doubted myself. And I went back to my hotel room and I sat with it and I journaled about it and I meditated on it and I started to have memories come up of my own trauma. being molested at the age of 5 by a man that my family and I trusted, and how that led to me walking through the world, walking through this planet with fear, so much fear, in a constant state of fight or flight, feeling like the worst case scenario might happen at any moment. And as I sat with that, I started to think about, when did that shift? How did that shift? Because it was only recently, in the last few years. And I realized it shifted when I was able to drop into forgiveness. And I was able to drop into forgiveness when I was able to drop into compassion and see the act as an act of love. And that doesn't mean condoning it. That doesn't mean saying it's okay. As misguided as I believe it was, I can see that the pain that he was feeling in his life, he was trying to absolve himself of it. And he tried to do that through molesting me. And so as I sat in my hotel room, I realized that as we shine this light of awareness on some of the world's darkness, some of the darkest aspects of humanity, some of the worst human rights violations that are going on right now as we speak, now is as important a time as ever that we continue to hold love in our hearts, that we continue to shout from the rooftops the message of choosing love. Because we cannot dehumanize our oppressors and expect to create solutions that unify the planet. Like Einstein famously said, we can't solve the problem with the same level of thinking that created it. And so as we see the dehumanization that they are doing that allows them to commit these human rights violations in the first place, we get to rise above it. We get to show people a new way, create a new paradigm. And as we can see these oppressors, and we can label them as evil or monster or tyrant, it's important that we not forget the label that unifies us: human. We are all human, and that's amazing. Because we've heard from people who get up on this stage and they share their stories of what they've been through, what they've overcome, what they are risking just to be here on this stage, and it inspires us. We look to that and we say, they're human. Their strength, that resolve, that perseverance, that's in me too. But that works in the other direction. So when we see these human beings committing some of the worst acts of human violence on the planet, there's a deep fear in us that goes, wait a second, they're human. Is that in me too? If I was raised with the exact same circumstances, would I be doing the exact same thing? And so when we can hold a lens of love, when we can see it with that, it opens the door for compassion. And when we open the door to compassion, we open the door for a conversation that is rooted in love and has the potential for forgiveness. And it is not easy. No one said choosing love was easy, but I have heard from you, I have felt your hearts, and I know that you have the strength to do it. We have the strength to do it, to show a new way. And it starts by learning to love ourselves more deeply. Not the parts of us that we're proud of, the parts of us that we pretend aren't there, the parts of us we might be ashamed of or feel guilt about. When we can learn to love those aspects, learn to love our deepest shadow, learn to love our ego, the parts of us that carry judgment or anger or resentment, when we can love those parts of ourselves, then when it shows up as a reflection around us in other human beings, we can have compassion for it because we've developed the compassion for ourselves. We can love them because we've learned to love it in ourselves. And this does not mean to accept it or condone it. This does not mean not to fight, to raise our voice and raise our flags and raise that message of love. Do it, but do it with the lens of love. Remember, we are not fighting against, we are fighting for. For love, for freedom. And it starts internally. And that is what has inspired this last piece of poetry that I have to share with you today. And normally the way it works is I say a poem and then everyone claps. We have this exchange of energy. But for this poem in particular, I'd like to take a moment of silence after I finish. And for that to be your permission slip to fall more deeply in love with yourself. To pour appreciation and gratitude into yourself for what it took for you to be here. For what it takes for you every day to wake up and live your purpose and help create a better world. Fall more deeply in love with yourself during that moment of silence. And after that moment of silence, you can clap as much as you want. Can everyone take a nice deep breath in? Out. This poem is called You Are Who You've Been Looking For. You are who you've been looking for. So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies, but the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but if you can't love yourself, how can you ever love me? And loving yourself, what does that even mean? Like massages and selfies and that sort of thing? Because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always been taught that self-love was something to be feared. I've been taught that arrogance is bad and vanity, it's not good, and even my bracelets are telling me to act how Jesus would, so what should I do? How should I act? I'm supposed to love myself, but how do I even do that? Well, I got a trick that I picked up from a friend who noticed that I was quick to defend her when she'd say something negative about herself. She'd say, I'm so dumb, and I'd say, you're so brilliant. She'd say, I'm so weak, and I'd say, you're so resilient. And when she said, I feel ugly, and I said, you look beautiful, she asked me why I was so dutifully filling up her cup constantly and yet treating my own cup so irresponsibly. Because when I looked in the mirror, my voice was quite clear. You're ugly, you're too thin, your hairline's receding, and you got a pimple on your chin. And that was when she gave me a piece of advice that changed my life. She gave me a hug, and she said, treat yourself like someone you love. Treat yourself like someone you love. And I had been standing, but I needed to be sitting because I couldn't believe that I had been letting myself keep forgetting that I was who I'd been looking for. And deep in my core, I knew it was time to stop looking for more until I could look through all my fear and look into a mirror and see clearly that the man looking back at me is the only one who can make me happy, and I am already enough. And I am not any more special or unique than you. That is why I'm here to speak to you. You are already enough. And when you start to see that, you will start to be that. Your world will get brighter, your load will get lighter, and you can see that with life, you can be a lover, not a fighter. And that life, you deserve it. Because you are worth it. And there's no point in letting yourself keep forgetting, because no matter what you say or do, you are perfect. And so today, I hope I leave you with a direction correction away from the flaws you see in your reflection. They aren't flaws to me. They are simply protection against all the doubts you have of your perfection. So start today. Take a good long look in the mirror and say, I am who I've been looking for. Deep breath in and out. Thank you very much.